What's up guys, I'm here with another video. Welcome to episode 119 of Let's Build the City. Today we're building Greg's. So, yeah. Let's build Greg's.
Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Greg's, one of my personal favorites. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very much, and try and watch as much of this video as you possibly can. It really helps me out. But without any further ado, let's get started. Here is the amount of space required to make your Greg's, a 22 by 15 block area, as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which I would always recommend making if you are planning out your world. Here are all of the materials.
Let's grab the materials. I will grab the materials.
Also, we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. And now that we have all of that stuff, we can get started. So, step one, if you've made the grid, come all the way over to the front left-hand corner of it, and then count backwards. 1, 2, 3. We're going to start off by placing a row of 4 terracotta extending up from the ground. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a light blue concrete on top, extend forwards, go right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, place an orange terracotta, and then a yellow, and then 8 light blue concrete.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then, behind that, place a light blue concrete and join it down to the ground using terracotta. This is the result. We then want to add another row of light blue concrete on top of the light blue concrete, and then we need to add orange terracotta on top of the previous yellow terracotta and yellow on top of the previous orange. This gives us our shop front. And with this, we can start over here on the left side, extend to the right and then inwards, and place a light grey concrete. Extend to the right by 3, 1, 2, 3. Place a terracotta, extend forwards, place a light grey glass pane to the right, terracotta right of that, extend in, and to the right of that, place a light grey concrete, extend up by 3, 1, 2, 3.
Remember me from January. Hello, Glitch Studios. Welcome to live stream. I may or might not remember to.
Stand right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Join down to the ground. Add some glass inside of this. Now, I want to add glass in such a way that we pretty much just cover every single part of the area with glass, except enough of a space to walk through. So now that we've added glass to the door, the next thing that we're going to do is add an end rod. This is going to act as a door handle, and I want to place it on the glass portion, and I want it right in the middle of the door. It doesn't really matter whether like that little end part's up or down, as long as we just have one.
What's your bit about Chick-fil-A? Okay, that's cool.
Bars, but it doesn't really look like it grips onto the glass, so it doesn't quite look right. Anyway, to the right of the door, we want to place a terracotta, extend it forwards, and then we want to place a glass in between the pair of terracottas. So this is what it should look like. Quite easy. So after that, we're going to extend all of these terracottas upwards into the ceiling like this, and we want to place glass paning like this. And we want to place glass pane in between the terracottas. And then on top of the light grey concrete here on the left, we're going to place glass pane in between the terracottas. And then on top of the light grey concrete here on the left, we're going to place 2 rows, with then a row of light grey concrete on top. And this, I mean, there's a little gap above the door because there's no blocks behind it, but this is pretty much fundamentally the storefront. We can also dig out the first couple of rows, or at least, the first 2 rows. I don't think we can dig out more than that. Dig out 2 rows in front of Greg's, just while we're in this jungle area. We're going to basically just leave this grass in front here, and then we're going to plant some plants just in front of the window and next to the door. But we also want to dig into the door section as well, so you can see where the path is going to be. We'll have to add a little bit more grass and such later on. So the next thing to do is to extend the sides backwards. The right side of the build is easy to extend backwards later on. So the next thing to do is to extend the sides backwards. The right side of the build is easy to extend backwards. We just want to place 18 rows of terracotta.
18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, that was lots. Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we want to have rows of 18 terracotta extending backwards. Not only terracotta though, we also want to take the light blue concrete as well, and that wants to get extended backwards in the exact same fashion. On the opposite side, this is where things get a little bit different because we're going to be adding some windows. So on this left side, and by the way, windows are optional depending upon how and where you place them. So you don't have to have them, but they're a nice little extra if you've got, if it's not sandwiched in between another build. Sandwich. Anyway, so we're going to take this terracotta and extend it backwards 2 rows. 1, 2. Then 2 light grey concrete. 1, 2. 3 terracotta. 1, 2, 3. 2 light grey concrete. And then simply extend back a row of terracotta across, going backwards, and then across the back. The back of the build is going to be entirely terracotta, because we've got a lot of stuff along this back wall. We might even make an exit/entrance. I suppose it depends if you work here or not. If you work here, it's sort of an entrance and exit. Anyway, we'll see whether or not we want to add like a back door to this place. So, here we go. We want to extend up all of those terracottas. At the top of the windows, we want to have light grey concrete in the same plane that the terracotta is. Windows in, just like this. We want to take the light blue concrete, and I'm highly considering adding in the ceiling whilst we're at it. The ceiling inside Greg's, I've chosen to make it light blue concrete, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to add it now. We'll just have to add some light as we go around the place. The ceiling is designed to be where this sign is as well. So, like where the light blue concrete begins, just above the windows, that's where the ceiling is. And we are going to fill in both of the rows of light blue concrete. So usually we don't really like fill in where we have to, but I want to add some sea lanterns into the ceiling itself. your way, BPay lets you choose which account to pay bills from, so you're in control. Stop it! That tickles! BPay, we're in your corner. To add one, then that's fine, but it's not as if this is a drive-thru or anything. Like, you can pretty much just dump this anywhere in your city, anywhere, town centre, outskirts, retail box, wherever you want to put it. And then if you want to, you can add a car park to it. So, I mean, I don't know whether it'd look nice just to add just like a little oak leaf on the left and right sides. Maybe that's why I chose to put them in my inventory. But azure bluettes, because it's a neutral flower, I just want to place it left and right of the wall, like this. Then I want to retain this grass just because I think it looks a little bit nicer. And that's pretty much it. So, the next thing, I don't have the material. Why do I not have smooth stone? What's going on with me today? But we need some smooth stone. This is basically just to have a path. So this second, for instance, this, like what we have now, minus this little row here, this is the Greggs, right? So this is your building, this is how much space it takes up. But I always add an extra 2 rows into the floor plan, just to integrate it into a sidewalk. I mean, every single one of my builds have it. It just kind of frames Greggs a little bit better. So that's how I want it to look. I mean,
what I'm gonna do is this.
I know I keep coming back to it, but I think that that's a pretty nice looking build. I'm quite happy with the outside design. And next, we're just going to do my terracottas back, and we'll have to add all of the floor and such. But I'm going to rip up the entire floor. It's a little bit dark in here. I'm going to rip up the entire floor now, and we're just going to add in the floor. The floor is very, very easy to do. There's not too much to do it. It's basically a check. Actually, it's not. There is actually a little bit more to it. I was thinking of a different thing I've been working on recently, but there is actually a little something to the floor. It probably would have been easier to add it after the fact, but I'm sure that we can manage. So yeah, the floor is actually a little bit interesting because like part of the floor is kind of like this black and white checker, and part of the floor is like oak, and it kind of like depends on what part of Greggs we're dealing with. So let's grab the different floor materials. We'll need, for instance, white concrete, we'll need black concrete, we'll need some oak, and let's start off with that. So at the back of Greggs, we want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of oak planks. So this is basically going to cover, and this is going to span the back of Greggs.
Where's that? Okay. I hate these darn bats. You know what? Come here. Come here, little bugger. There's another one. There's only one. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry guys about that. My mic fell on the floor, but I'll be right back. Hold on, I just need to destroy that. I'll be right back.
right there. So
sorry guys about that. Anyway guys, I'm back. I just got a super duper, got a sour one, I got an ice pop, the ice. Might put that down. Got a cold ice pop. I'm gonna continue with Greg's.
To pretty much cover us for the back portion of the Greg's. So like this is like where all of the, this is where you would actually buy the stuff and what have you. Now we want to, from the doorway, I'm pretty sure it's from literally like this end part of the door here, we want to have a series of white and black checkered blocks like this. So just alternating between white and black essentially. And then there wants to be 2 rows of this also in front of the oak plank area like this. So hopefully this is kind of just, there we go, it kind of reminds me of like a racetrack or something. Everywhere to the right of this wants to be checkered, so everywhere to the right of this area wants to be checkered like this. And then everywhere to the left of this area is ultimately going to be oak planks. So, I don't know why it's like this, because, you know, I didn't design actual Greg's. Like, I've designed this build, but I haven't designed actual Greg's, and I've basically taken this from an actual Greg. So, like, I don't know why they're kind of like a multifaceted floor, but it is kind of cool, I will say that. Like, it's almost as if they kind of have, like, my philosophy, and, like, it's kind of like telling people where to go. It's like, you follow along the, I guess, the white and black brick road, and it kind of takes you to the food. That's where that's going to be in this area here, and then to pay. And then the Oakwood plank areas are either employee areas, or it's kind of like sit and eat your food and then leave areas. So, I guess I've taken a page out of my book, or I guess I've always been taking a page out of their book, depending on how you look at it. But I think it's kind of cool that it's laid out in this sort of fashion. So now that we've done that, we kind of have to add all of the, I don't know what to call it, the infrastructure to Greg's. Probably the wrong word, but we need smooth quartz block, smooth quartz stairs. We need some light grey concrete. We need polished andesite stairs, sea lanterns.
So guys, it's raining in my country. It's raining right now.
I think that we will be good at that. So let's just start with this, and then we can work around it. On the right side of our build, we want to basically, where we have this like black concrete here just behind the door, we want to move left 1, come towards the wall, place a smooth quartz, extend forwards by 1, just like this, place 2 upside down quartz stairs going left, 1, 2, then a quartz block, 2 upside down stairs, quartz block, 2 upside down as going left, 1, 2, then a quartz block, 2 upside down stairs, quartz block, 2 upside down and inside stairs, light grey concrete. Now, behind these stairs blocks, I'm going to place sea lanterns. Then, behind the actual solid blocks, whichever they might be, I'm going to add another one of those solid blocks. Raise up every single one of the smooth quartz and the light grey concrete, and you'll find that it kind of divides the area into a set of fridges slash, I guess it's a heater, technically, this particular part. I'm going to divide this area at the back by placing upside down and inside, and then I'm going to divide the 2 fridge and areas using upside down quartz stairs. Then I'm just going to leave it at that. We're going to move over to the left here, and inside this entire large area that we have now left slash created, we want to place a light grey concrete on the left and the right we want to place like just 2 rows. We want to join them together at the bottom using upside down quartz stairs and the top using just regular old stairs like this. So you can see what this side of the build looks like. Now we have to create a little bit of counter space. So if we take this light grey concrete here at the back, like the end of the heater area, and we move to the left like 1, 2, 3, and then inwards 1, we want to place a light grey concrete, and then we want to place 2 upside down smooth quartz stairs, 1, 2, light grey concrete, upside down stairs, and then light grey concrete all the way to the edge. Extend.
Hold on, guys. I will be right back. I'm sorry if I keep leaving, but anyway, I'll be right back. I'm sorry that I keep leaving. It's just because I just want to quickly check out what's happening. So I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back.
The light grey concretes that attach to the stairs backwards, and then we're actually going to use light blue to just fill in behind the upside down stairs. Next, we just want to place a...
What is money for? If not for the place you call home.
Simple, smooth quartz stairs just here on the end. This is going to be a till ultimately. Do I have any furnaces? I do. So along the back here, we're going to, starting from the corner, going from left to right, we're going to place 3 light grey concrete. 1, 2, 3. 2 blast furnaces. Light grey concrete. 2 blast furnaces. From the corner, going from left to right, we're going to place 3 light grey concrete. 1, 2, 3. 2 blast furnaces. Light grey concrete, 2 blast furnaces. Light grey concrete, 2 blast furnaces. Extend those upwards by 2 rows, and then place smooth quartz stairs at the top. And then just on the end here, just a little light grey concrete. So, on top of the blast furnace,
Sorry about that, guys.
I want to have glass, and I'm going to use... Light carpet's probably the wrong material, so I won't use it. But I'm going to place some glass on top of the blast furnaces, like this, and that will become a bit more apparent why later. In addition to that, I reckon that we're also just going to, on the ceiling, place some just smooth. And what other materials do we have that we can use back here? Well, I guess there's a few. So, lanterns are always useful. Black concrete we are going to need. We could use the paintings. I mean, cakes we'll need a little bit later on. Brewing stand, trip by hook, cauldron. We'll... I need the pickles. So I want a cauldron over here, just in this corner, because I don't know why, I just wanted that corner smoothed up, but it makes sense that we've got a bin. A couple of coffee machines or drinks machines in the form of brewing stands. So I want a cauldron over here, just in this corner, because I don't know why, I just wanted that corner smoothed up, but it makes sense that we've got a bin. A couple of coffee machines or drinks machines in the form of brewing stands with tripwire hooks above them will do just fine. Pickles, you cannot, in this version, you cannot place sea pickles on top of upside down stairs, but we can place them over here, and this is just a little bit counted. Like, we can place them here and here, just to look like cups or something similar to that. Like, you'll have to use your imagination a little bit. We need the actual pots, but we'll grab those a little bit later. Above, where we have these upside down quartz stairs, I want to have 2 screens. In Greg's, you will often find that there are just TVs with like displays and stuff, so it'll kind of advertise whatever. What are the odds? Maybe we'll use some 1x1s. I mean, that's perfect. Perfect, because that always looks like food, and it is food actually. I think it's actually a kebab, if I remember, or a gyro, but regardless, this is kind of like the back part. We have a couple more details to it, but we're certainly getting there. You can either use regular glass, or it shouldn't make too much of a difference to use light grey glass, and this is basically just a display like here, just around the kind of like counterpart. So you can use grey glass, but we are going to be needing some different glass later on, so that's not a big deal. Do we have item frames on us? We do not. But if you like, you could even just like sneak a little cheeky cake back here somewhere along there if you like. And what else can we do? So, towards where the customers are going to be at, we need to create a little bit of seating area. So, light blue concrete, end rods, smooth stairs. Here's where the white carpet comes. ultimately we will also need some oakwood stairs as well, and the caves. So along this back wall here where we have the windows, we're going to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 light blue concrete. Gap. So along this back wall here where we have the windows, we're going to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 light blue concrete. Gap. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have smooth quartz stairs, move stairs. Here's where the white carpet comes in. And ultimately we will also need some oakwood stairs as well, and the caves. So along this back wall here where we have the windows, we're going to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 light blue concrete. Gap. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have smooth quartz stairs placed in this fashion. So if you start from the right, 2, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1. End rods are going to serve as kind of like the stalk of the table. I don't really, or leg of the table. I guess it'd be a leg, right? I guess tables don't have stalks, but that makes sense. I think the wine glasses have stalks, and that's kind of like a leg, so it makes sense that you could call it that. On the opposite ends of the tables, we are going to place chairs. If you want to, you can make them a little bit messy. Well, not really, actually, because they kind of like connect in weird ways. I was thinking that maybe you could like, you know, have like a sideways stair every so often, or what you could do is, although this might impact things a little bit, like you could have like a chair that's more pulled out than the other, if you so chose, but then, I mean, it's probably getting a bit messy. So for this area, I was going to use oakwood stairs, but I think it would be better with a contrast wood. I still want wood though. So either spruce or birch, I'm going to go spruce. There are usually tabled, notice how familiar I am with roads, there are usually table displays along like where you would walk to go to the actual area. So these table displays from the terracotta next to the door, gap of 2, and then back-to-back stairs. And then there's going to be a gap of 1, and then back-to-back stairs. However, I am thinking that maybe we'll have, maybe it'd be better to leave a gap of 2. I think that might look a little bit nicer. Originally, the reason that I had the gap of 1 is because that's the centre of the table area. But I don't think it matters. You guys might know if you've made some of my builds before. I like to line things up with builds. Like I like to make it so that certain parts of the build coincide with certain parts of the build. It's a little OCD. It's not really important, but I'm going to place cakes on the back portion of these tables, and then ultimately we'll have some item frames and we can kind of stock them up a bit. Underneath the counter space, we've got 2 options. Well, 3 I guess. So option number 1, leave the oak planks. It looks fine. Option 2, add sea lanterns. This kind of lights up the displays and it kind of highlights the area. Option 3, which I'm not going with, is to place white and black concrete underneath there instead, but I like the sea lanterns. I want to add lights. The actual fact of the matter is that we don't even need lights in this part. The tables actually keep things lit up quite nicely. This area to the right is a bit dark, but I think that if we were to add lights back, and this is where we would add them, this is where I think it's a good idea. Behind where we have the... That's the wrong block! Behind where we have these TVs, you can stealthily put a couple of sea lanterns in the ceiling, and then that will keep that part that way. I'm not interested in having this too well lit, like I'm quite happy with how it looks. If you want, you can also hide it. I'm into hiding lighting at the moment, I don't know why. You could have like a cheeky lantern just hidden there, and then that keeps things, I mean everything's quite nice and bright here. Perhaps even a bin in the form of a cauldron here, just so people can throw things on the way out. You could even have that just extended one row forwards if you wanted to. Although a bin near the food doesn't seem quite right to me, so maybe here would be a little bit better. But again, then it's near the food. Dilemmas. We're quickly reaching the point, ladies and gentlemen, where all we can really add with these remaining materials is kind of like paintings. So I like the idea of just having a couple of paintings about the place. So here, for instance, and in between here, would look. Is that the same paint? No, no, it's not. Okay. So here and here, just to lighten things up a little bit. Don't really have to add anything like that. I think that's actually just fine. I don't think we need to do.
Make the most of the Australian sun with Solar Heart's next generation solar panels. And right now, if you replace your old PV system with a new Solar Heart system,
Anything else? Whilst we have the end rods on us, one of these is going to be a fridge. So I like the idea of. That's a weird looking handle, but okay. I want to have just like a double end rod. I hate that. I hate that so much. Hang on. So, solve this issue. So here, I want to have a double end rod in the form of a door handle, like in front of one of these fridges, either on the left or the right, it doesn't really matter. And that's pretty much going to be that. So, the remaining materials, we just need, it's not even a lot of stuff, we just need little detail makers. So I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff, I'm going to figure out what we need precisely, and then I'll be back once I've got it. Oh, plus, I don't have the, we've got a sign to make too, but we're going to leave that until the very last. Here are the materials that we will need to finish off the build, at least to make sure. Access to stained glass pane, O-tram, all similar materials, and enough of them as well. So, we're going to start off by grabbing the item frames, rails, bread, cooked chicken, who doesn't love chicken, light blue stained glass pane, O-tram doors, sunflowers, that's going to be a weird choice, but you're going to see where I'm going with this, cocoa beans. So, this first fridge here, I imagine it to be a sandwich fridge. So, what we're going to stick in here, item frames, loads of bread. That's all we're going to have. This next one here, same thing. So, we're just going to stick bread in item frames, easy peasy. Feel free to change it up. I just didn't want to flood my inventory with materials, but you know, feel free to steak, all that sort of stuff. But for the most part, you're going to have like pre-made sandwiches. We're going to seal up this second fridge here, so this is going to be like actually opening. I mean, an alternate idea is, and I don't like how I'm already going off the rails here, but an alternate idea is to have drinks. So, I mean, it doesn't matter which, you know, any whatever. So, like this one. So you could have like drinks and sandwiches, or perhaps this could just be a straight up drinks fridge. That's also an entire possibility. So we've got a bit of variation: sandwiches, some drinks. This end one here, I kind of want to add rails to like these two parts, and then I'm going to have item frames and cooked chicken because I'm drinks. This end one here, I kind of want to add rails to like these two parts. And then I'm going to have item frames and cooked chicken because I imagine that I'm imagining some sort of like chicken bites or something like that, and it just seems to work for me. Along the back here, I'm going to have an item frame where this drinks machine is. I'm going to grab. I've already got the cocoa beans, so flour pots. I'm going to place that here. Cocoa beans here, just to display it's a coffee machine. Oak trapdoor on top of the bin. We've got another bin over here. Drinks machine that I'm imagining some sort of like chicken bites or something like that, and it just seems to work for me. Along the back here, I'm going to have an item frame where this drinks machine is. I'm going to grab. I've already got the cocoa beans, so flower pots. I'm going to place that here. Cocoa beans here, just to display as a coffee machine. Oak trapdoor on top of the bin. We've got another bin over here as well that could do with one. That's pretty good. Oh, sunflowers. And item frames. Item frames I need to keep out. So item frames I'm placing in front of these caves, and I'm placing sunflowers. Now, what do these look like? I had a brilliant subscriber explain to me that these look like donuts on a stream. So that's exactly what these are. They do sort of look just like sugared, round, holed donuts. Perfect. So that's exactly what those are. They're nice and vibrant too. I like them. So item frames behind the counter space here, and grates are no poor sausage rolls. So banners, orange and yellow, and to me is as close as you're gonna get to a sausage roll until Minecraft inevitably implement them. So that's what we're gonna have. I also want to have rails on top of, like, here. I want to just have rails. It just looks like a heating rack or something. I also want to have rails on top of, like, here. I want to just have rails. It just looks like a heating rack or something like that. Item frames in front of this, and then you can kind of be a little bit artistic with what you want to have. So, I mean, chicken and bread is like a nice solid choice, but again, as you feel free to add different stuff if you want. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's like nice and crowded back here. A couple of flower pots just here. If you want to add like a shelf, can we do this in bedrock? Yeah, we just had no, you can't place stuff on shelves on bedrock, but what can you do? I mean, you could have up here like an additional stock, like you could even have like, I don't know, like more drinks and flower pots and stuff, you know, just to kind of like pad the area with a bit of detail. Water pressure plate I'm simply placing next to the cash register because I think it looks good. We could have a window here also, by the way. Like, I suppose this always depends. This is like context dependent, which basically means like, where are you building this? Like, what's next to Greg's? Could this be an entrance/exit? It's a lot of this is like, you know, what do you want it to be? Like, a nice window there is just fine. I'd like some more windows if possible. Like, if this was on the corner of a street, then that area could be open. Or if this was like just a standalone by itself, then you can have all of this stuff. But I'm pretty happy with this. I don't think we have to add anything else to the inside. So that means that we've got to head outside and make the dreaded sign. I'm imagining some lightning bolts hitting on. So, grab a loop, throw it on the ground.
G-R-E.
Open and put your very first light blue banner in there. The first letter is the most annoying, which I appreciate. So, light blue banner, white dye, vertical row of white on the right. Grab it, throw it out, throw the white dye out, grab the blue dye, throw it in, make the top half of the banner blue. throw it back in, get rid of the light blue die, put the white die in there. So, white die along the bottom, along the left side, going up, and along the top. There we go, perfect. So, white die, horizontal bottom, horizontal top, vertical left, and there you have a G. That is the very first letter. The next letter will be R, so a horizontal row of white along the top, vertical row on the left side, and then a diagonal row top left corner to bottom right corner will be your R. White blue banner in there. Next letter is E, so that's a horizontal row of white along the top, the bottom, the middle, and then a vertical row on the left side. E. So, hang on. What's happened here? Is that an addition? I don't know how big that looks.
Okay, I'm back to check on you. Okay, this is what my Greg's looks like.
More G's, or since I can just, use the G as much as I like, we're now going to make S. You might have to make 2 more G's. Horizontal row of white across the top. Diagonal row, top left corner to bottom right corner. We have Res, which I don't know, sounds like the Spanish version of Greg's for some reason. So, right next to where we have the lights, the yellow and the orange terracottas, we're going to place a G, R, E, G, G, S. Boom! Greg's. Easy peasy. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is the build. So I'm going to clean it up a little bit, we're going to take a bit of a look, and then we're going to say our goodbyes. So this is what your Greg's will look like once it has been 100% fully completed.
I have finished a Greg's. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me building a Greg's. If you did guys enjoy this video, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video from me, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a lovely day guys, peace out.